checked in with our Fox 13 Seattle team to get the latest information. We now know that 3 people are dead after a suspected stalker broke into a Redmond, Washington home and killed a podcaster and her husband. That information from police. The woman's mother survived the attack, escaped, and called 911. The shooting happening at a home on 106.
All right, y'all, it happened again. Podcasts are down. Another YouTuber, another social media influencer, done, gone, murdered. This one's out of Texas. Pretty crazy, man. Makes me think about a lot of stuff. Back to the old Doug Live from Northport situation. I'll touch on that in a little bit for my fellow Dougies. Look, it seems like I just did one of these, man, and it's crazy. Starting to put this thing together, I have enough videos now to do a playlist on just this subject. But what's crazy is this dude, Psychotic Stalker. If you haven't seen the Netflix documentary, man, on people who have been convicted of being stalkers, it's pretty wild because it's a series of men and women, and they're telling both sides of the story. But stalking is such a weird case because it gets dropped, or it's lesser of a charge because these people, they obviously dude snapped. These people have something going on in their friggin' brain, and they do something even worse. And in court, you don't even see the stalking. It may be talked about, but they're focused on the murder. They're focused on the attempt murder. They're focused on the crazy nonsense that came to this. Stalking is crazy, man. And it's one crime that dudes have to suffer and women go through big time. But back to this case, man. Look at this weirdo. Let's put him on the screen. The cop there in Texas, that little town, has only had one murder since 2021. They're doing pretty good. This guy, the weird thing about this is this guy was driving trucks. So he's always not even out the county, but out the state at all given times. He's calling the lady 20 to 30 times a day, calling her husband. I don't know who or what podcast this was. I'm just trying to get it out to y'all as fast as possible, but it doesn't matter. He slaughtered both of them, man, both of them. And Moms, I guess Moms was in there, and she lived through it. Pretty sicko, man. Pretty sick shit, man. Pretty sick shit. Stalking a podcaster. And look, if he's a truck driver, that's all I used to do, driving trucks. Put on Rogan, put on a good podcast. You know, I would look for long videos. Man, this guy was stalking these people, and knew he had a podcast to come on. Man, what a crazy freaking story, man. This social media violence, these murders, this stuff is, unfortunately, it's not going to stop. It's going to keep getting worse. And on this case, it also reminded me of some of the YouTube crap that happens. You know, his situation is different because he's really stalking these people. There's evidence. He's threatening them, all that good stuff. But he's states away. He's not even close for questioning, for nothing. You know, he's a tanker. It becomes weird, this social media thing, if you from states away threaten me. Even if you threaten my family to the point where I'm scared, you're not in my state. So I have to then go to a detective to get something done, and 9 times out of 10, nothing happens. Nothing happens. Man, if you haven't seen that documentary, I highly, highly recommend it. Let's take a peek at this little segment here.
Very early, about 2 a.m. According to Redmond police, officers responded after a woman called 911 at a neighbor's home to report a stalking situation. When officers arrived at the scene, they found a 35-year-old man who lived at the home in the front yard, and he had been fatally shot in the chest. When officers entered that home, they found the man's 33-year-old wife and that suspected stalker both.
Thank God she got out in time. This is wild because the guy was a podcaster. You know, there's a lot of phone calls to him. There's a lot of phone calls to his wife. They also said, I didn't get it, that they had to put extra security cameras around their house. But you'd think this is in over a year of time, all this has happened. This guy's got a podcast. You know, he's talking to his followers, for a lengthy amount of time. It's got to be on somebody's chest. It's got to be on somebody's shoulders. Like, you have to let it out. You have to. Man, listen. This is like the 10th video I've done on some crazy violence happening to YouTubers, okay? A lot of them die. It unfortunately is going to be a playlist. Look, if any of this shit happens to me, I'm letting y'all know off the top. Okay, look, I couldn't even hide it. Okay, I don't know if I would just talk about it. Okay, and I believe somebody would. If I was too hard-headed, first off, if they're that weird, I'm not going to be hard-headed. I'm not going through that. I'm not going through that. But I would tell y'all, and I don't know who this guy was. I don't want to say he wasn't doing it, but it just makes you think. You know what I'm saying? Which brings me to the last part of this one, man. Is Doug. Doug live from Northport was one of the stranger things that we've seen, man. Somebody in my community, man. Watching that Netflix documentary, I thought about that guy, Sperm Squad. That guy is a real weirdo, man. A real weirdo. He was a grown man jealous of another man's YouTube. And, it was cool standing up for Doug, but he almost died. People forget. Doug's cool, man. He's about the only person that I respect out there in the Petito case, man. And I like Doug, but it made me feel uncomfortable because I stuck up for him. I tried to box that guy, guys. I called him out. I was pissed about that. But you know what happened is Doug was gone for a little bit, and I was covering it, and I didn't know if the guy was going to say, "Hey, you don't live too far from me." I don't know if he's going to say, "Hey, yeah, I'll box you." So I talked about it for a little bit, but there was a person in this chat. There's a person involved giving me information. I did a video on the hoarder lady, the obsessed moderator, and it was like I was joking to an extent when I made that video. The obsessed mod from Northport, but she in a way was just as bad as that guy. Okay. Spiteful, vindictive. You see her all over to this day on YouTube doing the dumbest shit. She's like pushing 70. Okay, I'll clean your house. But all like with the stock and shit, it's very weird. But the whole point of me telling you this is, it made me. I knew that for a long time. I told y'all. A lot of other fellow Dougies do know that. A lot of other fellow Dougies don't know that. And that sucks all in itself. But meat and potatoes is Doug. From what I heard, Doug finally seen it, and he took the wrench, and that lady's he kicked rocks for her. But that's not really what's going to happen. This is a sickness, man. This is a sickness. This stalker shit. There's something deeply wrong with people that do this. You know what I mean? Deeply wrong. Look, like in the beginning of the video, I said women and men go through this. I've been stalked. Okay, I've been stalked. Not to one of these crazy levels like a video I've done, but look, man, it's not cool if you're in some toxic relationship and it's that whole psycho chick stuff is just not where it's at. It's and it's not cool. You got to get away from that. And it goes both ways for the ladies out there too, for the dudes. because I believe that's just the beginning of it, man. I've been stabbed before over some psychoness, right in the shoulder, screwdriver. Dumbest thing in the world. But anyway, I'm blabbing. Got to get this out to y'all. The social media violence, man, the influencers, the YouTubers, it sucks. I promise you, it ain't happening to me. And look, anybody stalks me, man, I'm getting a hold of y'all. Until the next